Hey, welcome back, knife nerds and everyday care people. It's your boy, the Big Canucker, and we have got ourselves a look at one of the most important pieces of our everyday carry, our smartphone, and more to the point, what is protecting our smartphone here than the smartphone case? Now, this happens to be the reason why we're only doing a talking hands video here today is because, oh, I did myself a little bit of spirit fingers. All right, so what we want to do is we want to have a look at this Mous smartphone case as well as the Folio that accompanies with it. And the reason I wanted to get these two is because I really like having this Folio on my phone that covers the screen, because lots of times when you drop your phone, even though this is, I think, great protection, if it lands on a corner and it hits a piece like that and it smashes your screen, well, then you're out a couple $100 or even a new phone where this covers the screen. Now, I really was liking Mous since I saw them. Some of their viral marketing is amazing. I mean, dropping a phone out of a helicopter at 1,200 feet and then, man, the phone itself is perfectly fine. Now, I wouldn't want to try that, but I do drop my phone all the time. And this is a little bit of a long-term review. I've had this case now for, I do believe, over a month. And I'm going to show you some of the wear and tear that's happening already. And we're going to pop the phone out of here too as well, because I want to make sure that people get a look at what's going on inside your phone, because it's not just the protection of your phone, it's also the phone inside the case. Is there going to be a bunch of dirt and dust in behind there? Is it going to be, wearing along the sides, things like that? And so we'll have a look at that. But let's just kind of go over this here a little bit. So this here is the Limitless 4.0 MagSafe compatible walnut phone case. This is kind of their premium lineup. There is this case in a multitude of different ways. You've got yourself a walnut, which this one is. You've got yourself a bamboo. You've got yourself a carbon fiber. I know you've got that carbon fiber. You've got one that is kind of a space color on it. It's basically kind of a rubberized material. Almost feels like a basketball. And yeah, so that is, and it comes from a multitude of phones too as well. So, iPhone 13 Pro Max, 13 Pro, 13 SE, it'll cover pretty near any phone of the major phone brands out there. You can get a Mous case. All right, so this happens to be here the Mous MagSafe compatible Backflip wallet, or Folio, a lot of people call it, because it does have a wallet compartment in it. And it's also got a little bit of kind of grippiness on here too as well. So let's go over these real quick, and we can have a look at the design, and the specifications. Now, the biggest thing here is it doesn't add a whole lot of this case here at the walnut, the premium Limitless 4.0 doesn't add a lot of weight to it. You're looking anywhere between 40 to 43 grams. I think a little bit of variances depending upon the density of the wood that they use. Now, it is an actual real walnut wood on here too, so you don't have to worry about getting some sort of fake, covering, like a vinyl covering. This is happens to be real walnut, and you can tell where I have dropped it, and there's a little piece there, and you can see that it chipped ever so slightly here too, as well as another little knock on it. And you can see that it basically went in there, and it is wood all the way through. All right. Now, one of the things about this that I really like that if you happen to drop this flat, this, you can see here, this has got the ends here are kind of raised. So that it is a little bit of a kind of a dish-shaped face to it. So that way it does protect the front. Now the buttons along the side here have got some really good action to them. They're very snappy, and it does give you space to click your mute on or off. And it also gives a raised back here to protect your camera. So when you do drop it down like that, now you can see here that it is steady. Oh, there's a little bit of back and forth this way, but this way there's not. And that happens to be because you have to raise that a little bit. Now, I have a covering, a protectant on this here too as well. So it's a full plastic piece that goes over all three of the camera lenses as well as the light. And I know on one of my other cases, when I would pop the case off, it would peel that off every single time. So far, I haven't really removed this, so we'll find out if it does peel that off too as well. So I did install this case, I did install this protection, and then the case over top of it. So hopefully it's not going to pull it off. Now, I do also have a front screen on here, And I'm not sure, you can't tell when the thing is on, but when the thing is off, you can see that it seems like it's lifting here a little bit. Now, I don't think that's the case. I think it just happens to be just kind of, I need to replace that or kind of push that down. So I don't think that's something to blame on the case, because it doesn't look like it lifts on there at all. Now, it is very, very sturdy too as well, this case. Now, you can see where I have dropped it, and it is starting to wear. You're getting some gouges here, some gouges there. On the corners, you've got some gouges. So you've got lots of protection for this. So I have not, and then you can see here at the bottom where I've really kind of gouged it. I've dropped it. You know, you do that from dropping on roads and pavement and stuff like that. So you can see that I have dropped this, and there has been no damage that I know of to this phone whatsoever. Now, having a look over at the Folio adds a little bit of bulk to your phone. There's no doubt about it. This here is so handy that it can slip in and out of the pocket. No worries. I wear this a lot of times in my front pocket. Where this one here, when I put this Folio cover on, and it basically has a MagSafe backing, so it will, it does have some really, really good hold to it. So when you close it up, it adds a little bit of bulk to it. So there's no doubt about it that it does add some bulk when it goes in your front pocket. Now, but it does have some really, really neat, nice features. It's got space here for 3 cards, as well as an inside card in there. You can actually pop a card inside there. And now, why would you want to have a card inside there? Well, you could put your debit card in there or your hotel card. I have tried both of them. I've tried my debit card in there, and it's allowed me to just walk up to a tap, hold it on there and tap. And I also used it at a hotel. I popped it in there, scanned it right beside the door lock, and it opened up no problem. And then you've also got a little bit of a elastic band on the inside to kind of put maybe some receipts and stuff inside there. Now the back here has got a really, really grippy kind of texture to it with these little rubber dots, and I think that just stops your phone from kind of sliding around, even though it's got the MagSafe. And you can see ever so slightly the MagSafe is starting to wear a little bit of a ring into it. Nothing's happening on the back of the phone, but that's the one thing here. So it is now locked into place. So now it closes up, and there you go. You've got your back. Now you can see how this, even though this is black, and it's kind of a matte black, I'm not sure if you can see that there is a little bit of kind of dirt on there. And I haven't cleaned this, but we'll find out. And this is just simply glass cleaner. Shouldn't harm anything. And I mean, there's a little bit of dirt on there. Nothing spectacular. A little bit of I know I've spilt coffee on this and it just wiped off. But I mean, I have been extremely rough on this, and it is starting to patina a little bit, but it's not, I've noticed no damage, no seams along here springing or anything like that. This here, sometimes I've had Folios where this, because it's kind of open and closed so much that you start to develop a little bit of a, kind of a cracking there. Nothing whatsoever. You can see that there is. And that's just a little bit of rubber flashing from when it was built. It's not coming apart at all. So I have liked this quite a bit. And the reason I wanted to get this removable, another reason I want to get this removable Folio is I use this to film a lot of my YouTube videos. And it is really, when you've got a Folio case on there and you're trying to put your phone inside, you're trying to put your phone inside the holders, it always seems to be a little bit too bulky. And so if you're able to kind of pull it off, no problem. And my darn flashlight popped on for some reason. I don't know why it always does that. If I kind of bang around and tap it, it seems like the damn thing taps on all the time. And then, of course, we've got Toronto Maple Leafs, who broke my heart again this year, folks. Damn. All right, so this is a MagSafe case. And just to show you that it is MagSafe compatible. Ding. There. I have, of course, because I have the mute turned on, it doesn't make the little bing noise. But you can see that it is. There. You can see that it is charging, and it does have some hold to it. So the magnetic does, it is really, really handy. There, you can see bing. So it does make it is MagSafe compatible. So you can see that works, no problem. Now, It isn't all roses though. There is some stuff on these cases that you have to kind of be aware of that I don't really like. So let's go over some of the negatives. One of the negatives here is on the case itself, you've got really, it's kind of a little bit slippery. I mean, this is very smooth, and if you're not sure of your hands, or you've got a little bit of wet to your hands, this is not a very good grippy case. I have dropped this simply because it has slipped out of my hands a few times. Now this is the walnut case. There is one of the cases out there that is the they call it the speckled fabric phone case. That is probably the most grippy one. It is very it's almost like a basketball, people have told me. So it's got that kind of grippiness to it, where the rest of the cases in this Limitless 4.0 are a little bit slippery, okay? The other thing here I don't really like about this is I wish that it had, so it's got the magnetic locking, but it's actually very kind of, I'm not gonna say it's sloppy, but I would like it to lock a little bit, see, because it'll lock right there all the way to over there. I would like it to have a little bit tighter lock right off the bat. Because, if you've got it locked up like that, I think that's way more, it's not as kind of sloppy and loose, but when you have it kind of over there locked, you can see that it is not as nice to move. Now, the other thing I wish it had is, I wish it had some volume buttons on here. Now I can feel them through there, but it just would be nice to have a little bit, maybe kind of a little thinner metal material there or something, or maybe even like a little bit of a hole that you can really do your on-off, or so your volume up, volume down, because it is a little ambiguous going through the leather. It's not impossible, but I wish it had a little bit better feel through there. And the other thing that really drives me crazy, now you can't really tell because the screen is completely cleaned, but when the screen has got a little bit of dirt to it, every time I open it up, you can see these 3 lines. I've got 3 lines in the screen. And it's just, I mean, I think maybe over years and years, or, if using this case, it might kind of wear on the screen. Even though the screen is supposed to be incredibly hard, you get a little bit of grit or dirt on there, and it just makes 3 lines in your screen. If you don't have a screen protector, it could perhaps embed into your screen, or because I haven't noticed it in the screen protector yet. When I wipe it off, you can see, but if you look ever so slightly with this thing turned off, yeah, you can still see the lines that are right there. If you look at it in the right kind of light, even though this is supposed to be, I think, the hardness of 9 is supposed to be as hardness as sapphire, the screen case, it is leaving little lines in the screen protector, and I don't really like that at all. All right, so that seems to be the negatives. Let's have a look inside, and we'll see if it is in fact, if there's anything inside as far as damage wise. So they say you open it from the bottom to the top, and that's the way you install it too as well. Lots of times you'll go from the side, but this one here, they recommend you open from the bottom. And oh, there we go. So no damage here at all. You can see there's a little bit of a mark here, and I don't think that that's an actual damage spot. I think it's just a little bit of schmeg there, but there doesn't seem to be any damage to the, from dropping it multiple times. Now I know my buddy just had his phone fly off the hood of my car, or not the hood, the roof. He left his phone on the roof of my car, and it was just a less expensive version of something like this, no folio on it, and it came flying off the car at about 120 kilometers an hour. It hit the highway, and it bounced and it rolled right out of the case, and the phone was beside the case on the ground, and he actually chipped holes right through the corners of his, and chipped the corners of his iPhone. It just still worked. I mean, 120 kilometers an hour hitting the pavement, that's a test to a darn what a case will do for you. Anyway, so you can look here, it's got this special AeroShock gel along the corners there. That's the green material. Now, you can see here's the MagSafe with the magnets, and here's a little bit of thing. So there is no dust or dirt has gotten in there. Kudos to you, Mous. That's fantastic. Now, the older versions of this Limitless had a kind of a little bit of a fuzzy material inside there. as well as a spot for your, say, a key to remove your SIM card. The SIM card key, I mean, I don't necessarily need that there, but I thought that that was a little bit of a loss there, not having that fuzz inside, just to kind of protect this back, but it looks like I've not needed it. There's been no damage to this whatsoever. There's been no dust to it at all. Kudos to you, Mous. So let's just pop this back in. Oh. There we go. How easy was that? And there we go. Just like butter. It's back. Now, if you happen to be looking for any sort of excellent EDC knives in the Spyderco brand, don't forget to check out my buddies over at Alberta Firearms. They are wonderful, wonderful folks, and I will make sure that I leave some contact information in the description. I'll also leave a link to the Mous website too as well. They are over in England, so they're not like it's like overnight shipping to you here in Canada or the US. And oh, sorry, I forgot to mention the prices here. If you're looking for, let's just see here, the walnut one right now is $56.99, and your Folio here is $44.99 as far as, and that's right from the Mous website. Now, I know that you can get some, discounts. If you sign up, give me your iPhone or give me your email address, they'll give you 10% off. Or if you have a link, you can get 20% off too as well. I'll see if there's any way that I know that I can get a little bit of a link to give you guys 20% off. I'll make sure I leave that link inside the description. If not, I'll send you straight over to the Mous website itself. So if you like what you saw here, please don't forget to give me the thumbs up as well as subscribe. I'd appreciate it so much. And I hope this has been a way that you can find yourself an excellent. Now, I would rate this absolutely excellent. I think this is good looking. I think it is very safe. I think it is very handy, and it has protected my iPhone with zero damage. And I'm really rough on my iPhones. So I think this is excellent. I definitely would, even though it is on the pricey side, I still would recommend, I think, getting this case. Absolutely, no doubt about it. So please stay safe. Keep your stick on the ice, the shiny side up. This is the Big Canucker saying adios.